All right, this is your man, Sir-Earl, coming at you again. Today is Sunday, September 22nd. Um, I normally try to get this done on Saturday or Sunday, but today got to it kind of late. Had a million other things that I had to do. Had my honey-do list going, so a lot of stuff I had to get done while she is out enjoying herself at a comedy show, of course. I'm sitting here recording this podcast and doing work. The name of the podcast, the subject I want to cover today is that we get a lot of people. I always bring up the phrase that I've been in this industry for a long time because I have. And you just hear so many different things. Getting in shape physically is probably the most difficult thing you could do. Normally, it's the food process, and that's what people I find have a very hard time controlling, and it's a mental thing. Mentally, they cannot control taste over need. I eat what I eat because I am looking for a particular result. So the food is eaten with a purpose. Most people they will look at stuff that they like, and when it comes up and they have to make a choice, they'd rather not like what they see in the mirror and eat the food that they like and just deal with it later and feel bad or whatever it is. But anyway, one of the subjects I like to cover that I know all too well is the world of bodybuilding. It's a sport I've been a part of for a long time. And one of the things, this subject will not only cover bodybuilding, but track and field, baseball. It's been mentioned all throughout the times, and that is reporters that have never played a sport. If they did, they didn't do it very well, or if they played at all, they started to label anyone that they suspected of taking PEDs, which is performance enhancing drugs, another word for steroids. And one of the questions that I get a lot of, if they look at a person, let's take Ronnie Coleman for example, and they'll say, "Hey, aren't all those guys on steroids?" That is a question that, to me, it disrespects and take away the fact that these guys have been lifting 30, 35 years. They've been eating strict about the long period of time, 30, 35 years. And people talk about it as if all they did was sit on their ass and took a steroid and it gave them the look that they wanted. There's a saying that goes in bodybuilding. It says, drugs, PEDs, can never turn a chihuahua into a Great Dane. First and foremost, you're born to be great, and no matter what you do, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, track and field, or whatever, you're born with a certain genetics that put you head and shoulders above everybody else. So let's take that into account first. It's your genetic disposition of what you're born with. Lance Armstrong, they accused him of taking PEDs because he won 7 Tour de France. If that's the case, everybody that's riding, why is he better than everybody else? Because everybody else take them. And he still manages to win 7 straight, which is a difficult task in itself. They labeled Barry Bond a cheater because they said that he took them. And you're not realizing Barry Bond's father played 20 years in the major leagues, and his uncle, or his godfather, is Willie Mays, the greatest hitter of all time. If taking PEDs made you hit better, then every bodybuilder should play in the major leagues because, it would give them something. If it would give them something they never thought they could have. It takes a lot more to hit a baseball coming at you 100 miles an hour than it does to say, well, this guy took something. The problem with the miseducation, and I wrote for a newspaper once before, and I got asked a question by a young teenager, and the problem that I have with the miseducation of what drugs will and won't do for you, and I'm not an advocate of it either way. People could do what they want to do as long as they're grown. Young people, I think, should have some discretion, and they should be taught and educated the right way about what, when, and how these things work. But the way that they're reporting it is you could be a lazy, fat piece of shit and you take a steroid, pop a needle in your ass, and all of a sudden you're smacking, 60 home runs a year. And it just does not work that way. It's amazing to me the stupidity of people that believes, let's say a bodybuilder. The stupidity to believe that all he does is sits on his ass, pops a needle or pops a pill, and all of a sudden all these muscles start popping out. There are people that take a lot more than any pros, and I know a lot of great pros, but they're nowhere near the quality and caliber of what these guys are. 90% of your progress or lack thereof is nutrition. And I get people all the time, and this goes along with one of the podcasts that I promoted before, which was that you love the prize, but you hate the process. I get people come to me all the time, and they'll say, hey, I don't want to compete, but I want to look like I could compete. Meaning I want to get in the type of shape that these guys get into without doing the things that they do. Because when you start to tell them, hey, look, you got to eat chicken breasts, you got to eat broccoli, you have to cut out your seasoning, you have to eat all these things, they don't want to do that. They just want the look, they want the prize, but they don't want to go through the process. I've been lifting for almost 29 years, and I've been eating strict and clean for about 20 of those years. And people still will question, okay, well, what do you eat? And when I tell them, oh, well, I can't do that, I gotta have some barbecue sauce on my chicken, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Well, what the fuck are you asking for? It's like, why are you? It's like saying, I want to be 18 years old, but I really only want to put 14 years into it. It's ridiculous. You figure there's 8 billion people in the world. There's probably only a handful of competitive bodybuilders that do it at a very high level. If that was the case that the drugs did it, then wouldn't it be a lot more people that are in shape? You have gyms on every corner almost, more than liquor stores, and obesity rate is at an all-time high. So you still have to work. You still have to dedicate yourself. You still have to eat right. And it becomes, people ask me that all the time, and I kind of stop answering them because it almost sounds as if I'm defending it, which I'm not. It's just that you just asked a dumbass question. And, what a lot of people don't understand, like I said, is first and foremost, you're born to be great. Your body is made a certain way. If you see guys with genetically small legs, no matter what they do or what they take, they're always going to have above average size legs. They were born that way. You did not have enough muscle fibers to develop your legs above normal. And I was opposite. I was born with huge legs. And guys will ask me all the time, what do you do for your legs? I don't hardly do anything. I could walk down the street and my legs grow. That's called genetics. Some guys have big, great arms. And no matter what they do, I know guys don't even train arms, and have these great, fabulous looking arms because you were born with the right muscle attachments and all those things. So it's kind of idiotic to believe that they got in shape this way. That's why I can't get in shape. You are making an excuse for why you don't want to work hard. I see guys like one guy came to me for some advice. And I'm looking at his Facebook page, and you're 6'4", 160 pounds. Well, first and foremost, you need to gain 100 pounds to even consider standing on a bodybuilding stage. And I look on Facebook, and you're eating 4 ounces of chicken, a salad, and some green beans or broccoli. It's like, come on now. Most bodybuilders I know, at minimum, me included, eat 10 to 12 ounces of meat per meal, 6 times a day, every day, no matter what. It's just a part of what they do. And that's how, when I started working out, I was 143 pounds. I've been as high as 263 pounds. Yes, and of course it's blamed on he take this or he might take that. But when you look and you say, I've dedicated over almost 30 years to this sport, and I've eaten clean for probably 20 years. And when I say eating clean, I mean eating clean. I don't indulge in junk. I don't, we follow diets or we follow an eating plan for years on end. Most people can't even follow it for freaking hours or days. Their mental weakness when it comes to eating food is the reason why they could never get in shape. And it becomes an insult to say that a person that has worked 20, 30, 40 years, ate right, trained no matter what, rain, sleet, snow, back hurting, wrist hurting, knees hurting, you're still in the gym. Most people, they will use an excuse as soon as they wake up and their big toe don't feel good, they go, oh, I ain't going to go work out today. Well, the habits of what people that accomplish physically great things, like a Barry Bonds or what was the lady name? Miriam. She ran track, and they stripped all her medals. And she said, "Well, I was taking something, but I didn't know what it was because my coach, which was my fiance, was doing all my nutrition and vitamin protocol. She thought it was vitamins." And the announcer said, "Didn't you find it strange that you were just so much faster than everybody else? You didn't find that strange?" And her answer was, and this is what I say, she said, "I've been faster than people that I ran against my whole life. Grade school, elementary school, high school, college. I've always been the fastest person that's on the field. Why do you think I am an Olympian?" So what they're trying to suggest is you're an Olympian because you took something. No, I'm an Olympian because genetically I've always been fast. So you can call it what you want to call it. And these are from people, like I said, they've never played a sport in their life. And if they did, they were not very good at it. So when you find a person with the discipline and the consistency of athletes, of course you have to sit behind a computer and make up reasons. That's the society that we live in today. If somebody has something that we don't have, we have to make up a reason for why they have that and we don't have it. So every guy wants muscles. So if you got muscles, hey, look, he's got to be doing something. Women like to be in great shape. They look at Chie all the time. We get it all the time. I want to look like Chie. Well, Chie gets up and prepares 9 meals plus breakfast. She runs with the dog for a half hour for cardio. She gets on the stairs that we have in our house for 30 minutes to do cardio. She works out, she poses, and she does these things. She does these things every single day. Most people, they're not willing to put that kind of effort into it. And I told one lady, even if you put that effort into it, you would have to be born again to have her parents to have the type of physique that she's been able to build. People, why is Barry Bond hitting like that? Well, Barry Bond is hitting like that because Barry Bond is great. It's just like saying Peyton Manning. When we were out trying to figure out how to play football, Peyton Manning was hanging around the pros doing the business of football. And we wonder why him and Eli were so far advanced from other football players. They were born to be that way. They were coached to be that way. They were taught to be that way. Tom Brady figured out so much more than everybody else because he's smart. He didn't have the physical attributes, but he's smart. So, instead of looking at people, whether it's someone that's in shape, whether it's someone that is great at sports, whether it's someone that has money, no matter what it is. Stop looking at people and believe that they have a magic pill or potion or something that they do that allows them to be who they are and not you. If you want to know how to be great, listen and follow and do what great people do. And then you will develop some of those habits. Quit bitching, making up excuses for why they have it and you don't. Spend more time doing and less time talking, and you just might achieve some things in life. So that's my podcast for today. And like I said, I'm welcoming all your comments and suggestions for shows or what things you want to hear about. And until that time, until next time I'm out, I'll check you guys later. Peace.